Now, in the past, those of the light and those of the dark that had their lives intertwined, much like two threads or two ropes that intertwine with each other. And what has happened in the recent times, in the beginning with the time of Jesus, 2,000 years ago, these threads began to separate. They no longer were so intertwined. I know that it's very sometimes difficult to understand this when we say it, because it seems as if the 20th century, which was a horrible century in terms of the human rights and freedom, and there's an incredible amount of suffering in the 20th century. Well, nevertheless, these two strands, the strands of the light and the strands of the dark, stopped being so intertwined. They started to unravel, and they ran parallel to each other. You'll see this as an expression of the inability of those in the light to grasp how desperate and how powerful those of the dark were. And it's difficult to move from one camp to another. You understand? We often say to people that you live on an unusual planet where there seems to be an extreme expression. We don't want to express this to you dualistically, but there's a very strong expression of the dark and a very strong expression of the light, such that you see two men, as a very simple example, Adolf Hitler and Mahatma Gandhi, living together at the same time. You see, and in some ways relating to each other, but in most ways being unable to interact with each other on a substantial level. Certainly, nothing that anyone like Gandhi did, any holy person near Adolf Hitler, persuaded him to give up his course of action. So now this split is at the stage where there are two parallel lines running through history: the line of the light and the line of the dark. There was a small event that occurred in everyone's life, and I cannot give you a single example. Maybe it was an event in which someone expressed to you a need and you went to their aid, or in some way your mind opened up and you saw the light. In any event, some small event happened in everyone's life. This small event was like a little created a little space between those two now parallel threads, those two courses, those two life streams. And once that space was created, the light workers, those of the light, began going into one direction. Those of the dark started to go into the other direction. So now there's a gap. Well, I am sorry to say that this gap is oftentimes represented in your politics. You see this in the red state, the blue state. You see that your country is, at least the United States, is more radicalized than has ever been. There is one faction, and then another faction in your politics, and they don't seem to have any agreement whatsoever with each other. I am sorry to say that the forces of dark have coalesced their energy in the Republican Party. It could have gone the other way, but it went this way. It could have easily gone the other way. But at some point, evil has to choose. And this is what it chose. Okay? So, some people went into the light. Some people went into the dark. And we could say that about a third of the people very strongly went into the light. About a third of the people very strongly went into the dark, and about a third of the people are now migrating from one position to the other. Okay? All this is based upon free will, which is undeniable as far as we are concerned. So you must understand that the split is something that is predicated upon free will, and it is at the same time exploiting free will. As the split continues, that gap between those of the light and those of the dark is going to grow. Now, we want to remind you again, there is no successful way to walk away from God. You can try to do the opposite of what God might want, or you can try to go in the opposite direction of God. But since God is not a king on the throne and sitting in some world out there in space, there is really no direction that you can go, which is opposite to the direction of God. So the attempt by the dark to go to the denial, to use denial to push themselves away from God, is ultimately foiled. And if you look at the split, as the split continues, those lines don't go infinitely out as in an array. They are curved, and they ultimately will curve back on each other, and everybody's lifeline will meet. The worst thing that we can say about those of the dark is that they will act out their fantasy that they could deny the divine within them, within everybody else, and it will hurt them and they will suffer. And eventually they will have to be reconciled. They'll have to reconcile themselves to God, because they will feel that the denial of the light within them is bringing them to the point where they will experience the death of the soul, which is kind of a reabsorption of the fragment of God that you have within you back into the whole, and the loss of identity or sense of self, and certainly identity with form. So the split is what is happening now. It is why your politics seem to be so extreme, and it will get more extreme. It's why you see some people in other countries embrace terrorism, while others live in absolutely perfect peace. You know, even the peace of nonviolent change. So understand that there is nothing at this point that we of spirit, no angel or no diva or no spirit such as we can do to change what the people are, who they are. We cannot change it. And we are not trying to change people. Our problem is not really with those of the dark. We can identify them fairly easily. We know where they are going, and we can make accommodations for them. It's those third or in the middle that refuse to exercise their free will, and who claim to have allegiance either to the dark or to the light, depending on which one they see has the most power at the time or in a given situation. So we are struggling to identify them, to make them use their free will, even if it is in such a way that is detrimental to others or causes harm to themselves or to others. Well, the split has everything to do with a process we call ascension. Those who are of the dark and those who follow those of the dark will be lifted off the planet. You know, and in the next video, we will describe to you a little bit more about how that is happening. Thank you very much.